Um, let's start contextually again, which is everybody comes into crypto right now for one reason, realistically. I mean, it's not one ultimately, but more or less, because they believe the comparative value of what they're exchanging, could be USD, GBP, CAD, is not as good as Bitcoin's appreciation. So the capital appreciation of Bitcoin is going to be greater than other assets. That's the reason that someone would come in, okay? Whether they can extract that capital appreciation by staking or this program or investing or just by holding Bitcoin, it's relevant. Their goal is to grow. They want to get more money. Good. First, they need a Bitcoin, problem solved, or problem trying to be solved. The second one is growing their crypto. For those of you guys that know, we obviously worked on a platform or a technology called the money markets. I wrote the original white paper for the first money markets in 2018, July, I dated it. And we own moneymarkets.io. That website is just more of an informative website about the protocol. We released the decentralized version. If this goes back, man, you guys were following us. But if you release the first version of moneymarkets.io, which was completely decentralized, meaning there's no central party, it's just Ethereum network, in August or in September of 2019. And we released it and it functioned well and we never talked about it. Why? Well, partly because I don't think we or the people we were talking to had the bandwidth to fully understand it. I was just glad that we did it because nobody can take that away. But obviously I knew in the back of my mind what we were dancing with when we did that. Follow that up to March of 2020, this year. Or sorry, this definitely had to be February of this year when we released the ICE, which was essentially the notion that everybody that's holding any crypto in a GX vault is going to start earning interest. Well, where did that come from? That came from the same decentralized money market protocol, except now there's a central party because the wallet platform, let's say Global Exchange, is now the node in the money markets. Complex, I might have just lost you guys. In other words, instead of individuals doing all of the money market liquidity management, we arbitrarily said, well, what if the wallet company stepped in as the supplier or lender and interacted with the rest of the network? And then the wallet company redistributed the earnings and or deficits. That's what ICE was. Superimposition of a money markets without asking. I don't think anybody complained. Then we said, wait a minute. Well, what if that's on liquid? That was already, in my opinion, one of the most game-changing things that we're never going to get credit for until everybody sees it to be like, these guys talked about this in 2018. That's liquid crypto. Someone mentioned crypto.com. I want to know what crypto.com's liquid crypto interest rate is. It might have been 5, 6, I don't know. They definitely have they have a staking option. I know that. Companies have staking options. We're not even talking about that. We're talking liquid money for holding crypto. If someone could say it, if someone gets that data, I'd love to reference it appropriately. So we did that and we're like, oh, this is pretty bananas. But it made sense. If the DeFi market was emerging and there's multiple DeFi protocols and we were one of them, even if we didn't want to use ourselves, the wallet company could essentially attach themselves, could be us, Coinbase, central wallet company, could attach themselves to the DeFi market and just rewrite the interest rates and superimpose them. And now that's the value proposition. Brilliant. And then we went into COVID, and I'm giving COVID a lot of credit here. It's not just COVID, it's a variety of things, and mostly the ingenuity of our team. And I said, DeFi is going to be huge. This, by the way, anybody, I think I saw Ian in the chat, like some people that are, or Luigi or someone that, anybody who's watching like the network marketing crypto space now, DeFi is exploding. Like in the last 4 weeks, 3 weeks. I couldn't believe it. Someone called me up and he's like, Sharpan, weren't you talking about this? I'm like, I was. It's in network marketing that is exploding. And if I'm saying Mandarin to you right now, you will hear about it, just like you heard about ICOs. I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm like, wow, I'm so glad that I dated all those things. Anyway, over the last several months, I've thought deeply about how to expand the money market protocol to make it just mainstream, just like we did with InstaCrypto. The decentralized version, done. The slightly centralized hybrid version, which is like nitrous, it's done. But everything wasn't picking up. We had to redefine the protocol. And so that's what we did. This is colossal stuff. And Alan, the reason Alan hasn't hyped about this the way he did about Instacrypto is because I haven't talked to Alan in that degree about this yet. We spent days, hours, weeks on Instacrypto talking about it, marketing about it. This is maybe bigger than that. Just take that with a grain of salt. I'm going to show my screen. Dog demonstration.
Dr. Scott listed that staking is 18%, liquid is 4%.
So yeah, great. Okay. So I just want to know that they had liquid.
He didn't say what coin.
No, let's just say it's Tether or something. You know what I mean? That's fine. I just wanted to make sure that they had a non-staking option. How do I stop mirroring? Okay, you should lose my phone. And I will turn on my screen share.
For those of you who don't know what staking is, it's almost like buying a GIC or a Canada savings bond, you know, and they have a maturity date. So you buy it today, and then 1 year from now on September 18th is the maturity date for 1 year at 2% or something like that, instead of getting 0.9% at the bank.
I like that.
That's really what it is.
Okay,
and
so
staking
is, sorry, Alan,
not right now staking at 3 months and 6 months, but he's about to announce, I think, something on that.
Yeah, we might be talking. We might be doing something. We might do something that does something. All right, guys. Context. Everybody that's used ICE. What is ICE? It's still. Oh, great. I love doing a TBT before and after. Go to globalexchange.io. Will you? If all of you have, I'm sure you have. This is where. By the way, everything in Global Exchange was in the bounds of globalexchange.io until today. And this website is shutting down Monday morning because you don't need it anymore. The 3 pillars are growing your crypto, which is what I'm about to talk about, number 2, accessing your crypto, Instacrypto, and making money as a broker. All of those 3 functions were somewhat inside of Nitrous in a haphazard way, I would say. And we've built, in my opinion, uniquely the most competitive solution for each of them. But let me just show you how it used to look. So if I go in, I'm not sharing my screen. Oh, cool. I think I'm butchering my password, so it might be good. I'm not sharing my screen yet. All right, cool. I'm gonna share now. Share. Okay. Coolio. Yeah, this is my Nitrous account. Can everyone see my screen? All right, cool. This is my Nitrous account. The legendary Hang Thee Lee. She's gonna be a legend. This is done. You click Vault. Where you stored your crypto. Obviously, once you use Instacrypto, you go to this and you're like, oh, times have changed. And you click your money markets. And here you would see the interest that you were receiving each day for your liquid crypto, right? You don't need to do anything. You just, if you had crypto in here, you're getting paid every single day based on a fluctuating interest rate. If you move your crypto, you don't get it the next day. Simple. Then we had it iced. And iced is basically a long-term money market contract. And here you on the right-hand side, you can see the ICE calculator. So here you're locking up your money inside of the contract, equivalent to, let's say, staking, and you're getting a more privileged interest rate, and you're not subjugated to the interest rate changing. Because if you're just in liquid, and you could see if you looked at my liquid earnings, like one day it's a little bit slightly higher because the interest rate keeps changing, and I'm not guaranteed any interest rate. I'm just guaranteed what it is, whatever the interest rate is for that day. Whereas with ICE, I say 6 months, I say BTC, and then I say, let's say $10,000. Or I could put in the Bitcoin value to create the Bitcoin value no matter what. And it will give me the calculus for a contract that locks in my interest rate for my daily interest. It's obviously higher than the liquid interest. I don't have to worry about the interest rate fluctuating. And then at the end of the 6 months, it would be in my expired contracts. These are all my expired contracts. I would then redeem them directly to my account. Okay? That's what we did. Let me ask a serious question. Does anybody know how we did that second part, which is increase the interest rates? The first part, if you understand the protocol and how DeFi works, you'll get how like liquid money markets work. But how did we make it so that the interest rates are higher for the ICE? And I've never explained this because it's proprietary, but now it's not because I'm going to give it to everybody. And it's honestly, it's, for lack of a better word, brilliant. So, and I can't take all the credit, but I'm going to take a lot of credit. Think about it like this. Everybody's heard the word, like if you were to give your money to an investment fund, they could perform, and I'm sure you've heard this. I hate this word so much. I hate this word so much. I hate it as much as I hate AI. that word, everybody overuses it, is arbitrage, right? So arbitrage, anytime someone says arbitrage, run somewhere, some direction, because unless they can define to you what the arbitrage protocol and the incentives of the macro arbitrage leverage is, because really arbitrage only happens country to country. That's where the large arbitrage is, meaning that you can buy Bitcoin in Canada, sell it in Thailand. To do that, you need to be somebody, maybe Insta Crypto, but we'll keep that to the side for now. But if you're trading like a trader and you're like an individual trader, you think you're arbing, first of all, everybody else that can do that is doing it. So at the beginning, yes, there's more arbitrage opportunities, but as the market emerges and people uncover those, now the only ones that exist are between countries. I've seen people do it between countries, but you're definitely not doing it behind a screen per se, because you got to move money, Swift. And again, I'm obviously exaggerating, and I don't mean to be benign to arbitrage trade. I think there's some arbitrage you could perform between exchanges depending on the algorithm you said, but it's nonetheless, that's what people have said. You buy it up, you're basically buying Bitcoin at $10,000 on exchange one, and then you're selling Bitcoin at $10,100 on exchange two, literally in the same time. That's the dream. Mathematically, that's also what arbitrage is. And of course, you can imagine why that turns out to be lucrative. Okay. So what if you could do interest rate arbitrage? Because that's what we've worked on for ICE. Because people don't get is that the liquid interest rates are liquid interest rates. But what if you could arb the interest rates? By the way, that's a gigantic business that investment banks do. It's interest rate trading. Interest rates, you would call it interest rate swaps if you worked in investment bank. Obviously, what I just said right now, nobody in crypto has even probably uttered those words because it's very new. Like you're talking about arbing the DeFi rates. So you take let's not even use moneymarkets.io because that's biased. Let's take two DeFi rates, MakerDAO, Compound Finance. I have no control over those two. And you run an arbitrage. First of all, do you know what you have to do that? You need something called a protocol bridge that we built that lets you essentially write the interest contract and then in the Ethereum network, move it. What did you just do? You basically took one Ethereum, you lent it into a supply pool, let's just say at 1% a year, and then, you borrowed it, whatever, 1% a year, lent it 1% a year, however you want to dice it, and then you found a preferable DeFi pool, and you did the arb on the interest for that day. Okay, first of all, to do that takes a tremendous amount. That has nothing to do with moving money. That has almost everything to do with your ability to rewrite some of the Ethereum protocol level stuff with the DeFi networks. I think someone that built one would have like a really good advantage at doing that, which is why we've been tampering with that. And that's really what gave us the ability to do this, because really what you needed to do that was longer term hedges on the interest rate. But if I took your Ethereum and I tried to buy Bitcoin with it and said, oh, I'm going to arb this, or I'm going to even buy Ethereum at another exchange, and Ethereum goes down, I'm down the principal. If I took Alan's Ether and I put it in my arbitrage, guess what I'm never losing? The principal. Because we're not talking about the value of the asset. We're now just talking about the value of the interest rate. And if we hedge the interest rate on almost a quasi-daily basis through what we're talking about, when you write an ICE contract for 6 months, it's a joke. The worst we can lose is not the interest that we said we were going to give on the ICE contract. But there's no concept of the principal because the principal is not in question. It's still Ethereum both sides. So the risk was eliminated. By the way, this is why large banks do interest rate arbitrage. They don't do like securities arbitrage. Like a more risky hedge fund would do securities arbitrage. Okay, great. This is all really nonsense stuff for most people. Let me explain to you why you should care. We took that idea, and then we took that technology that we built for interest rate arbitrage, which underpinned ICE. We could have continued doing this and just built a huge fund for interest rate arb. But what we said was, like Alan says, I do with everything. I figure it out and I give it to everybody. Alan, is that a fair description?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, 20 years from now, it's all figured out. Now you're giving the ownership to everybody today.
So what I said was, you know what really sucks about ICE? We pick the days. What if someone doesn't want to do 3 months? What if someone doesn't want to do 6 months? Why? What's so special about 3 months and 6 months anyway? Is it just because that's how I felt when I figured that out? Yeah. I mean, that's a little bit more mathematical than that, but more or less, when a mutual fund says it's a 2-year mutual fund, they could change that. They didn't, and you agreed to it, that's fine. Now, I wanted to build something where any end user could create a crypto, like essentially, you might call it a staking contract. I call it a bond, because that's actually what we're talking about. I don't want to drop the word until now because it's a big, big word for this context. A bond is as a debt instrument. Governments use it, banks use it, companies use it, humans could use it, where you write a debt instrument. If you're buying a US Treasury, which is the most liquid asset after US dollars, what you're buying is a 10-year US bond at a fixed interest rate, and then the coupon will return itself at the end of 10 years or whatever. Okay, great. And now what I want to do is that same concept. Everybody's getting to DeFi now. I've been at DeFi. So how do you invoke more? You say, what if everybody could write out their own DeFi contract and earn on it based on their parameters, what they are comfortable with? All right, great. So that's essentially taking ICE and saying you can create your own ICE contracts, and whatever you feel like. If you want to do it for 3 days, you have a rate that's configured based on that. 20 days, 20 days. Your asset, your choice.
So just to clarify, because you haven't told me that. You told me this was so difficult and it wouldn't happen for a long, long, long time. And so now you come out, now you're saying that instead of just being 3 months and 6 months, you can now ICE your money for a chosen time. So for an example, I happen to have my rent money together. It's $2,000 on the 25th, but I don't really have to pay it till the 3rd. So I could have anywhere from 8 or 9 days. So I could go in there and say, okay, I want to put my $2,000 under ICE for 9 days, so I get it released on the 3rd, and then I can pay rent and keep the difference. Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I'm saying. And the degree to you're essentially deciding based on how long the contract is, the type of interest you're going to get. And it's completely plugged into the DeFi because it's built off of
that. Was the next question. So the longer the contract, the longer the
they won't that part I was going to explain a little bit later, but yeah, you're right. There's a reason it's more lucrative. So if you write a 20-year US Treasury, when the government sells 20-year US Treasuries, they're more lucrative. Like obviously we're talking very small percentages when it comes to US Treasuries, but more lucrative than a 1-year US Treasury, because a 1-year US Treasury doesn't take much. First of all, it doesn't give the government much liquidity. It just gives them 1 year's worth. And number two, the interest rates are going to change in 1 year. So it's nothing that anybody's that hype about. That the 10-year US Treasury
isn't it true that people will sell those, or they'll definitely use as leverage to get mortgages and stuff anyway?
Okay, you're right. I know that. I'm working on that, but that's the next step to this. We're definitely not talking about that today.
Yeah, that's the advanced. I'm thinking ahead here.
You're a boss. That's nuts what you just said. And I've already done it, but the fact that you even brought that up is uber impressive. Let me show you guys something because did you create the campaign? Check it on Instagram. See if it's like happening.
Oh, so I just want to say, so the lowest is what, 24 hours? Like it's based on days?
One second, man. I'm going to get to it. I'm saying, I just shot the video. This is the Zoom. Where's this? This is only the end part. Please check. Here's the final video. Beautiful. Watch this. All right. I think Alan was like, by the way, one thing you'll notice about Alan's not a fan of the fiat system. So just context for that. If you love the fiat system, it's going to be hard to listen to it. I personally am not a fan of it either, but I have a little bit more accommodating views. But he's completely right, by the way. This is not a show about why fiat is bad, because we still need to work with it. But I mean, if 2020 did improve that, it's hard to imagine what would, right? So this is a sentimental understanding of what platform I'm about to present. This is the why. I just talked about the how, technicalities, technology, great. This is the why. You can hear I think you'll hear it too when I start playing it, right? Can you hear it? Is my screen shared? I don't know if the volume in will come out, volume out. That's what the Zoom is like. I can hear it, obviously. I can hear it. Let me just play it. Yeah, your mic connected. So it's not. Select microphone, Logitech, select speaker, same as system, Brio. Okay, we'll try this. Nothing? All right, cool. I'm not going to show the video if you can't hear it because it's like instrumental here. I'll release it on YouTube. Fix your mic. What do you mean? Oh, I'm coming out of the thing. Yeah, proper bid. Yeti, can you guys hear me? Am I back? Am I audible? Am I audible.ca? Cool. I don't know why. It's that sad that I can't stream it. Like, I really would love to just stream this video because I made it in preparation for today's event. Yeah. You just download it and toss it on YouTube. Yeah. All right. Ariel's into it. I'm going to skip it. We'll come back to this, right? Come back to the why and the marketing lead. Let me just go show you the platform. All right. So the evolution or the culmination of everything is assets.io. Let me repeat that name for those of you that understand anything about internet real estate. That's what I just said, assets.io. You want to know who owns assets.com? Nobody. Which makes us the most authoritative domain in, let's say, portfolio finance. I don't know, in assets and things. That's the company. I mean, that's the app. Guess what? What you log in here with? Your GX credentials. Guess what? This is the second pillar. This is portfolio management, growing your crypto. Underwritten, obviously, by our goal to become the home for DeFi. It's coin market cap for DeFi. It's on top of that, the ability to write your own bonds. It's liquid interest rates. It's unlimited tracking. Let me quickly run through it because obviously I don't have the time to run through everything on this platform today, but this is coming out tomorrow morning. By the way, everybody who had money in Nitrous money markets, it's already migrated over here. So you could go ahead and log in. I'll show you where to see everything. It's already done. See, when you come to assets.io, again, no login. I'm not logged in yet. It's giving me the index, just like CoinMarketCap, because I felt that DeFi was going to become so big. I'm like, yo, there needs to be an authoritative, definitive place where people go and realize this. Obviously, we're trying to create it. So here you get to see all the interest rates. So I will be cautious with you. Monday morning is when everything gets accuratized. Not a word, by the way, but everything becomes accurate. Until Monday morning, there is going to be some mathematical fluctuations as it's still calibrating most of the network from the other DeFi networks. If that doesn't make sense to you, just don't do anything until Monday morning is my point. But I can show you everything. And it's all your balances, transactions, everything is there. You come here, this is CoinMarketCap except for interest rates. Crypto, you can see what you're going to earn liquid. On Bitcoin, Ether, you can see those are annual, those are daily. Great. On the left-hand side, you'd see your asset prices and you'd see your liquid interest rates annually. Here, you're just seeing it by the day. Obviously, you can see stable coins and fiat currencies. Okay, great. You can then see, you can search, like, let's say you wanted to see how much you're going to earn on Tron. You could search just for Tron and get it. You can also, of course, expand this, become a larger view portfolio. Like, you can analyze things. What if you wanted to see it by the DeFi network? Click this. We're already pulling in all the DeFi networks, just like we're pulling in all the exchanges. So now you can see how much tether you're going to yield on these platforms if you want to interact with them versus ours or whatever it is. Okay, go back to buy assets. You land on this and you don't know anything about what I'm talking about. What are you going to do? Just like I said, everybody does on Instagram. They're going to click Bitcoin. I know what that is. Let me click it. Breaks everything down for you from the perspective of decentralized finance, bonds. It shows you the last asset price, interest rate, get to a bunch of nerdy stuff, crypto. And then this is the tool that I think you guys should really like. I make like an interactive learning experience here, which is like, what is a liquid rate? What is a bond? What is a base rate? What is an interest velocity? And you can watch, I think right now it's just the same, right now it's just like one of our ads, but like obviously by Monday, I'm putting in the actual video of me explaining it so that people know what these terms mean. You can earn BTC, you could buy BTC, which really just means you're getting started, stable. And you can learn about any coin like that. Pause. That's just learning. I haven't logged in yet. I can see everything here too. If you want to know just on some nerdy stuff, how advanced some of the stuff is, you can readjust the data refresh speeds, the default currency. Like this is built for an investment bank that's doing our hedging. It's also meant for my mom who's trying to diversify some of her RRSP. Okay, lovely. Why don't we go and look at bonds? That's different than earn. Earn would be liquid. Bonds would be what I just talked about. Here, you can see the details around any given bond structure. Remember, we don't authorize this because we're not the ones setting the dates or anything. There's no fixed rate here for the 3-month contract. There's no 3-month contract. We're not dictating that. We're not interested in being an investment company. Now, what you can do is you can put in the amount of days that you want to do it, 500, let's say. Run it. and it starts to generate the entirety based on what amount of days you put in. This is not as this chart I need to update, but this is not as even insane as the one I have inside of the app, which I'll show you. This is just, by the way, you haven't logged in yet. Did I repeat that again? Yeah, I did, right? Okay, cool. Math guys, I'm going to show off a little, just cause this is my only time. You want to know how this actually works mathematically for those of you that are a little bit more technically sound? The way it works is it takes the DeFi rate. So let's say compound finance is saying the interest rate is an effective 10% per year for asset X. It then denotes that our algorithm makes that the base rate. The base rate is the interest you earn for 1 day of creating a bond. So if you were weird and you wanted to create a bond for 1 day, you could do that. You're essentially earning the liquid rate. Then we've integrated the real assets.io proprietary algorithm takes this concept of rate velocity and acceleration. Sounds complicated. It's rate velocity and acceleration is the correlation between the days you enter and the interest you're going to earn every day. Let me explain it simply. Today, if I do it for 1 day, I'm going to earn 0.05% interest. Every day I add to that, my daily interest increases. The math behind that is the rate velocity inclusive of the acceleration after day 2. Super, super simple because there's a nice drawing inside. That's why the longer your bond, the higher you're going to earn on day 1. So today, me, Ariel, Alan, we all go create the same bond. He does it for 5 days. I do it for 10. Ariel does it for 100. On day 1, Ariel's making way more than us. On day 2 he is, on day 3 he is, day 4 he is, day 5 I'm out. So the advantage is liquidity for being shorter. The benefit is obviously additional interest. But let me ask you if you wanted to go into Alan's world, because really what we're underpinning here is a bond market that's user issued, not central issued. And then for those of you that have a little bit more knowledge on how bonds work, guess what is the most traded asset after hard currencies in the world? Do you think it's securities? Nope. It's US Treasuries. Because what people realized is, wait a minute, if Ariel bought the bond for 100 days and it's earning multiples higher per day than Sharp Hands, and Sharp Hands is done now, so whatever, but Ariel's already lived out 50 of those days, which means he now has a 100-day interest rate for the next 50 days. And guess what? That makes his value of his bond much higher. And that's secondary market bond trading. By the way, that's how US Treasuries are dealt. And so that secondary market exchange is the next part of the Assets.io platform. It's not obviously not done yet, but the issuance and the earnings all done, iced, all migrated. Even I've done this, created this little helper, because obviously people can be mad confused when they come. So what is Assets.io? And when you click it, it says Assets.io is the world's first wealth transaction platform where you can digitalize your assets and turn them into a collateralized fixed instruments. What are you interested in? I'm completely new. And when I say, don't worry, it's confusing. So I've created a playlist to walk them through it. Maybe they're managing a portfolio that's not clickable yet. Maybe they're an institution that's managing other people's money. Maybe they're creating passive income. So there's this entire walkthrough here for those of you that like everybody else doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. Do you realize this word? This is what I was really sad that I couldn't play the video. You realize what this word says? Alan, you read that to me?
Yeah, world's first wealth transition platform.
All right, so there you go. I'm just going to not say anything further about that. It's not a wealth management platform. Although it obviously, in my opinion, kicks all those wealth management platforms' ass. I'll show you why. But what's the magic word there, Alan?
Transition.
Okay. Have you ever heard someone say that? I have a wealth transition platform. Have you gone to this wealth transition platform? No. Because for some reason...
Sounds pretty cool, though.
Well, you believe it's the greatest wealth transfer in history. And you know what I believe? I believe that there is some $700 billion held by boomers who have a remaining life expectancy of about 5 years that have no clue where they're going to leave their money and they don't trust their kids. Yeah, it sounds like some wealth transitioning needs to happen. That's for sure. Analog to digital. I'll go into what that means, by the way, in terms of practical. Okay, guys, I haven't logged in. I just want to say that again. On the top right-hand corner, what is this little button? I click that and I get the live earnings of every person in this market. This is just a live earnings, and that's what I'm saying. The data for this is fully going to be calibrated Monday. But so one mistake I made is that, for example, obviously this requires more decimals. So this is a number, but it's just decimalistic. This is every day's payments. And the thing I don't have right now is I don't have the country that people are from. So I just put global. What I really want to do is add, because I'm not going to put identity. It's just going to be like, okay, this person made this much Tron. These are all you guys, by the way. This is the liquid money. This is like the liquid interest rates from nitrous. This is the heartbeat. This is the heartbeat of the world's DeFi market. That's what you're looking at. And obviously I'm making it a socket, so it just keeps reiterating. Monday morning, give me some time. All users, you could select, no, I just want to see it from fiat. It'll adjust. I just want to see it from stable. And a bond types is what I was looking for. I was only see it from bonds. All right, guys, again, let me just remind yourselves, I haven't logged in yet. Indices are coming. Assets is coming. Great. Mobile apps.
Can you show the list of the rates for regular, flexible, and then of course bonded?
Why? I already showed the rates for liquid. And liquid's always with you on your trusty right-hand side manager right here. It's always showing you liquid because it's always changing. It's always liquid. We're always liquid. That's what we focus on. So if you want to get, wait, let me show you.
20% right now. That's
today. Yeah, Ethereum spiked. I mean, it's not going to stay at that, guys. But let me tell you, don't worry about the numbers because you can go on DeFi Pulse or some of these things and see none of those numbers are going to last. Ethereum is not going to pay you 20% interest. That's because of a temporary supply side fluctuation. So what I always say is this. I say, you know what's better than no interest rates? An interest rate. And really, that's where we're starting. That's not just with us. I would say that to people that use Compound. I'm like, yo, great. Get something. Start conceptualizing this properly. Of course, there's going to be days. That's where the ARB, you see, that's where we would have killed it on that ARB of Ethereum. Because it's like tomorrow it'll drop. The interest rate will drop again. Do you get my point? So that's where that would be. But that's not a normal person. Normal person is thrilled that he got Ethereum, that he got reasonable interest rate today. But even if he was making 4%, like some of the others, bro, they bought Ethereum because it's going up. It's going up and they're now getting time value of money. And it's not locked up. They didn't have to trust me or any investment manager. So let me log in to my favorite word, wealth transition, right? I was so fixated on the fact that nobody knows how rich other people are. And I don't look at that in like a shallow, wow, this guy has so much money. I honestly couldn't care less about money, to be honest. I like the concept of it. That's why crypto interests me so much. What I'm really interested in is why people think so much about it. And I thought a long time, I'm like, you know what? What is like a way for me to actually dictate my net worth? Like I could come out and just say like, my net worth is $20 trillion or I'm worth $2. And do you have a validation for that? You can say, well, let me see. I guess Forbes and stuff emerged for that. So I really thought that in the digital world, this could be quantified and then later used as analytics for you to be able to access financial instruments. So I was working on that as really the basis of wealth transitioning, is going from an analog, not safe because I don't think analog is safe, and kind of randomized asset value to something much more quantified. So if you click my net worth, that's when you have to log in. That's actually when you start getting access. Guess what? If you don't have a GX account, you can sign up directly if you have a GX account, because honestly, what else are you logging in with on the internet nowadays except your GX account?
Nothing.
Alan, exactly. That's a joke that we were on. That's sad. Yeah. So what it's doing now, what you're noticing is I got a bunch more options. It logged me in. It's calibrating my net worth. Let me repeat what I just said. It's calibrating my net worth. It's going to take some time because right now we have not efficiently connected it. So what we've done is we've structured every asset type a human can hold. Let's say literally from the easiest, which is crypto, because we can track that, all the way to something that would be impossible to track by modern standards, influence. But let me ask you something. If I could sell $1 million worth of anything and I don't have any money in my bank, I'm still pretty rich because I have influence. Same thing with digital properties, domains, social media accounts, whatever it is. You start to see the levels of wealth that people don't take into account. Obviously, the easiest thing to calculate is liquid money. Well, any bank, any accounting software could calculate that. We did that too. So what you see here is my net worth. It organizes that. And right now, the only two that are applicable are fiat and crypto, because you can't add the other ones yet, but you'll be able to add them and just calculate, just visualize your net worth. But if you click crypto, look what it says. It's saying that 99% of my net worth, which is here, is crypto. Great. If I click it, I now see what's my asset allocation. I could see that I'm holding Ethereum. Ethereum is 53% of all of my crypto holdings. I can open up another tab to explore that. This entire portfolio management tool is tabbed internally. You see that? Those are, I can open up 7 tabs and analyze everything at the same time. Man, Ethereum's doing well. How about what's the yellow stuff here? Oh my goodness, crazy. Ethereum, I'm big, etc. Look at GX token. I got GXT. That's big. I got nothing after that. And as you can see, it's color coded, so it just drops off. Watch this. Oh, DG Payment. Shout out to DG Payment. 6.6% of my net worth is in DGP. They're on this call, that's why. Now watch this, Alan. What does it say under Ethereum? 2 liquidity profiles. What the hell is a liquidity profile? It also says these 2 will come to us. It's like, what's your capital appreciation on Ethereum, which is how much Ethereum has gone up since whenever. If I click Ethereum, now it's going to show me how much of my Ethereum holdings is in bonds and or liquid. That's nice. So I got this much in bonds. I got this much in liquids. Alan, what does that say under liquid?
25 wallets?
Because I'm not holding Ethereum in one place. Nobody on this call should be holding all their Ethereum in one place. But guess what assets.io lets you do? Track it. So all my bonds is my Ethereum bonds, showing the USD value, fixed income, percentage of my ETH. Or let's say I click liquid. Man, I got some liquid ETH going for me. Oh, snap, crackle, pop. Those look like my wallets. Excuse me. Right now, this connects to all your GX wallets. As you can see, I have no money in my Boss wallet, but I have money in my DGP. It's showing me the breakdown of my liquid ETH holdings. You know what's going to be next? Coinbase. And every other exchange. Literally what I'm working on right now. The ultimate portfolio management tool. And then you can... Anyway. So, guys, that's just in crypto. What are you going to fiat? You can do the same thing. What if you can connect your Bank of America to manage everything in one place? Your real net worth. Put your real estate. First, let's be clear, and this might be a little abstract. All the assets that we can't access through API, which would be like your house value, you're going to have to enter. So then for that, we don't have validation control, but we do have analytics, and we could give you all those analytics. As real estate starts to become digitalized, as all of these things start to become digitalized, guess what? Assets.io centralizes your data so that you know this becomes your wallet. Let me repeat that. I hate the fact that the cryptocurrency world used the word wallet to mean the place you store money. Because nobody keeps money in their wallet. You know what you keep in your wallet? Access to money, your debit cards, your identity. That's assets.io is your real wallet. When you come into here, you'll see your access to money, your Coinbase, your global exchange, your bonds. That's why I never use the word wallets. I use the word vault because that's really where money is held. Alan, have I even gone into making a contract yet? Or am I talking about the greatest accounting software you've seen?
No, that's a pretty good accounting software. No.
Wait, am I talking about the fact that you can just send this report to your accountant? Did I say that yet? I didn't say that yet, right? Okay, cool. I'll remember to only keep things like that on my head next time. All right, so that's my net worth. I can obviously click my vaults, which is just my vaults inside of this app, inside of in the assets app. I can see it's gorgeous, by the way, in terms of this vault interface. I don't know what's better, this or Instacrypto's vault interface. I try to compete with the user interability. This is my Bitcoin vault in my assets.io. Remember, the net worth page was looking at all my wallets. This is just the one inside of assets.io, which might even be 0. My net worth still might be high. Just want to clarify that. So here I can search all the different vaults that this assets.io supports. So let's say Tron or whatever it is, check that out. Watch this, switch between them, immediately updates. I could search every date I had a transaction, it'll calibrate that. I could search every transaction type. This is just my wallet inside of assets.io for Ether. Okay, not a problem. What if I want to make a deposit? No problem, click plus, deposit, withdraw, deposit, crypto, fiat, or crypto vault. One thing I will have you, there's no fiat. You can't send fiat to assets.io. To be honest, assets.io is not even meant to be a place to hold that much money. It's meant to calibrate everything for you. But you can leave crypto when you're trying to bond. It's a bond market in that sense. But if you want crypto, guess where you're gonna have to go? There's this good app called InstaCrypto's coming out. You can also move money from any of your other GX apps very easily. Withdraw same way. So let me ask a question. Mr. Allen, who is not crypto sophisticated, let's say, I'm just using a metaphor, signs up. He's like, yeah, I want to earn some interest. That's cool. Like, I mean, I don't understand crypto that much, but interest is cool. Seems to be, legit. Like, looks pretty sick. Okay. So Alan, his broker, Alan Senior, his broker, says, okay, cool. Well, you just got to download InstaCrypto, get your crypto. Where are you? You're in Pickering. You're in Toronto. All right, cool. So just click the banker. They'll deal with it. Great. Now, all you need to do is transfer by clicking create your assets account. Oh, wait, you don't need to create a new account because you already have an InstaCrypto account. And you click plus, and you click move from deposit from vault, and it would start calibrating which vault you want to take it from, InstaCrypto. Because what did you just do? You just onboarded at InstaCrypto, and now you've deposited into assets.io, and you started earning interest. Now it's been 60 days. Now he's earned some interest. Guess what? Baby needs diapers. You know what the diaper store still doesn't accept? Bitcoin. No problem. Move the money back in a couple seconds from assets to, move your interest back from assets to InstaCrypto, and then find a banker who's going to offboard that. And Pickering. InstaCrypto alleviates anybody from having to deal in crypto. I mean, what am I saying? In fiat, forgive me. Alan, did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Okay, that's just my liquid vaults. If I wanted to see my fixed income, this would have been like the money markets tab in your Nitrous where you saw your earnings. You see your fixed income. There's a couple fixed incomes. Let it load. So coins are up here. I could go from Ether to Bitcoin by clicking up here. God, my computer's lagging. That's crazy. Not supposed to lag. The new computer. Let it recalibrate. I just clicked Ethereum. I'm crazy. So now I'm clicking Bitcoin again. And what it's doing is it's getting all of my liquid earnings. Alan, what does this say? Let it load again. Okay. So this is my Bitcoin liquid earnings. In other words, the interest I'm receiving every single day from keeping Bitcoin liquid. This is saying what? Because this is saying liquid, right? If I click this, it'll show me my bond interests that I'm earning. This is my liquid interest. You know the difference, right? Now, both get paid on a daily basis. But watch this. When I hover over that A, what does that say? A right there. It's kind of small. Apologize. All, right?
All.
You know what that means? It's showing me all of my transactions from every single vault I have. If I wanted to just see my interest in, let's say, tellers, click that. I don't think I have any in tellers. And you know what it's doing? It's now filtering just to see my earnings in one of the GX apps. Or I could see all of it, or I could see half of it, or I could see whatever I want, or one currency, or all currencies, or bonds, or liquid, or everything. Day by day, minute by minute, transaction by transaction. You want to know what the really interesting thing about these transactions? I think someone's making money off of it, although we'll leave that as a cliffhanger. Let's go to my favorite part, which is creating a bond. Let me start by saying this. You don't need to create a bond to use assets.io. You literally don't even need to put money in to use it by asset. You could just use it as a portfolio tracker. You can use it as, if you leave money in the liquid vaults here, you're earning interest. Fabulous. But now let's talk about the thing that changes finance, I believe. You want to know what I call it? You want to know how good at marketing I am? So what do you call money that's available? Liquid, right? That's what we kept saying. Liquid, liquid, liquid. So what would be money that's frozen?
Ice.
Oh ho ho. And what is a contraption that moves liquid stuff to ice stuff in the real world?
An iced machine.
Oh, you're a sharp tool, man. You're a sharp tool in the shed. So at the bottom here is your ice machine. I kid you not, that's what it's called. Your ice machine is it's the name I give into the functional underlying protocol that turns liquidity into a fixed income asset. Without getting too pie in the sky, because I'm showing you everything I'm releasing Monday morning, by the way, but maybe without getting too pie in the sky. Right now, you can only ice crypto and fiat. Do you think I put those assets there without the intention to allow you guys to ice it? What if you can ice a second mortgage? Just wait on it. Let's ice crypto in the meantime. Oh, ice machine pops up out of nowhere. This is Alan's favorite part. Look at the simplicity. Look at why you'll never need to learn about any of the math I explained. So Joe from Wichita comes on board. Alan signs him up. I mean, these are all Alan's customers.
Joe from Wichita.
You're no Jeff Smith. You know Jeff Bezos, that's for sure.
Jeff Smith down the street. Yeah, I got him in too.
So look at this. These are all the bonds, right? So you get to your customer. It's 3 steps. Choose your asset, choose your time, issue your bond. Not complicated. I made it complicated because I'm trying to explain it to you guys. And the user's not looking at it complicated. He's gonna be like, all right, cool. What's the bond? Okay, Bitcoin. I'll do Bitcoin. That's fine. Oh, Ethereum is kind of cool. Oh, let's do Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm gonna do Bitcoin. Okay. And then this is what took me a long time to build, believe it or not, because what is in this page is hard to build. Because this is that same process with the Instacrypto search engine, which is how do you take something that's so complex from a data perspective and try to make it something that a 4-year-old would understand. One of the first things that you do as a child is you draw. Do you know where you draw it? You never draw on paper, by the way. If you give a child a crayon, he'll never draw on paper until you domesticate him. You know where he draws? The walls. That's evolution. That's millions of years in the making. Similar to reason why when companies want you to analyze something, they'll put the triggers horizontal. Banks, when they do it on the desk, miss it. That's why companies that are like digital companies, when they can do all the portfolio management stuff, visually, they're tying back into such a rudimentary element. Very similar to like how Amazon would say, oh, you want to spend above $500 or below $500? Okay, watch this. I already set the Bitcoin bond. So the only thing I didn't mention is the price of the bond. That's arbitrarily set. I mean, there's mathematical components, but that doesn't mean anything. So we set the price of the bond, but that doesn't mean anything because you can buy unlimited amounts and the interest rate has nothing to do with the price of the bond. The interest rate has to do with what you set. So look at this. You remember the complexity of the algorithm? I pick bond. I could change my bond here. All I have to do is move this. Today is September 19, 2020. No, 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 no. And as soon as I'm just moving it up day by day, it's recalibrating everything. Literally every day I move it, it's changing the daily interest rate, the collective interest rate, and it's showing that to me. So I'm happy with 216 days. I like that because I like that. I like those numbers. Click confirm. I'm done. My total bond valuation, my daily payouts in USD, my expiration details, my deposit details. If I have enough Bitcoin to do this, I don't know if I just did it, I would just click issue my bond. Hope it works because it won't work if I don't have it, the Bitcoin in my liquid wallet. It does? Great. I just became the US Treasury. Alan, your turn.
Wow. No, basically you put whatever money you got, you know, it's going to go in there for 10 days or 2 months or whatever. You get the interest and you take that, you can move up and down. You can see exactly how long it is and what the money's going to be in return. And then you pick it at the rate that you want to go. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's just awesome. You can take all your money. And like I said, if I have the $2,000 today, the 25th of the month, and I don't have to pay rent till the 3rd, I would be able to pick up 8 or 9 days, depending on the month, of interest at the ICE rate. I mean, I just go in there and pick it and toss it in there for the 9 days. I don't need to. Obviously, I got to keep it for rent. And
you know what a negative interest rate is? Some people might know. Yeah, a negative interest rate. That's a very new concept. A negative interest rate is something that some central banks have rolled out. Really, Europe and Japan rolled it out first. The United States have yet to roll it out. That would be catastrophic if they did. Without becoming an economist on this call, because I don't really care about the opinion of myself or other people, but really what we're getting to the point is that you're going to have to pay a bank to hold your money. If you told that to my grandmother, and my grandmother is no genius, she would be like, that's kind of weird. That's kind of strange. That doesn't seem like it's supposed to work like that.
The more you hear about that, it's awesome because here you just get paid.
Come on.
And get paid.
Come on. All right. So I think that because of the magnitude of assets, guys, just remember the name. Remember, mobile app is not built. I do have an ICE app that I'm probably not rolling out like this. I'm going to build the mobile app that's going to function as the fundamental net worth calculator for planet Earth. I genuinely believe that this is that my childhood dream of easily knowing how much real value I've created as a human and as a company is going to come true. That's my ultimate fruition. Obviously, in the midst of that, to rewrite the bond market in a genuine, decentralized way. Do you know how difficult that is? Do you just think about what like crypto.com, I respect the shit out of them. That's a central lending company. And central lending is fabulous. I think it's central lending your crypto is great. Let them do that. And they have some DeFi so you can plug into the DeFi. What if you can manipulate the DeFi? All right. Because I just think that the follow-up starts is just too much at this point. We're going to move on. Let's go to number 3. Guys, I'm not ignoring. I want to address them. You just, please, at the degree of things that we're talking about. This is Monday morning. Okay. Let's rock and roll.
Now, let me just throw in one more thing, guys. If you have, and I think it works on all the different cryptos, but if you have, some money picked in crypto, because the reason you're doing that instead of a stock or bond or anything else is because cryptos are going up, and they're going up dramatically. In fact, Bitcoin in particular, just right off the top, it was a penny only 11 years ago. There's nothing Warren Buffett has on this. It's $11,000 right now. Nothing, a penny to $11,000 in 11 years. Are you kidding me? We'd all be billionaires. Like, it's crazy what it is. But now what we're saying is, come and do that, get part of it as the whole world pours in, as the banks are scared shitless of the money crashing and they're pouring in. And in the meantime, not only got an asset that's going up, very different than the US dollar that has gone down 3% every year for 100 years. And this year it's going to go down a lot more, if not completely wipe out and crash. Okay. You're now getting paid interest rates, as you noticed, as high as 20% and even higher. In fact, I think there was as high as 36%.
I do want to speak on that and be somewhat of a cautious, this is usually not my role to be the cautious one. All these interest rates are going to go down. I'm just letting you know that. These are interest rates as a function of limited, like even in the other money market.
Supply and demand.
Yeah. We've not released this yet. It's just done. It's over. It's when it opens, it'll be done. Because as soon as the supply aggravates much faster than the demand side, because the demand side for crypto is really still only trading. So the supply side, especially because I think we do have some 2,000 people that want to make money somehow. Oh yeah, those guys. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, those guys can go to Joe and say, hey, Joe, I think Bitcoin's a little too risky for you. I would agree with you on that, actually. What if you were to able to hold your money in USD or CAD or Tether and earn Bitcoin, and then you're basically getting into Bitcoin for free? That's how it works. Yeah, sounds reasonable. Okay, is it hard to get into crypto? I think it was until someone came out, the instant crypto, Instagram, something like that, right? Oh yeah, Insta crypto. Yeah. Where are you actually? Oh, you're okay. Great.